Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Jay Anthony here. So I'm doing something a little goofy here. I recognize I'm posting this video on both of my channels, my Coach Jay Anthony channel and my Jay Anthony channel, because I think this is just a really important message. I keep talking to people that are in stupid relationships and you really need to get out of them. And for whatever reason, I feel compelled to tell you why. So this is a video where I'm gonna tell you guys what to do, give you guys a little bit of advice. I keep banging my head into a wall because I keep having conversation after conversation after conversation with people that I'm close with and that I care about, and they're describing these ridiculously awful relationships that they're in, and it irritates me so much because they can have such higher quality relationships in their life, but they're settling for absolute garbage, and it just, So if you're watching this current video, I'm gonna list a couple of reasons that I think you guys should end your relationship if these reasons apply to you. Because life is way too short to have crap quality relationships. A little bit of background. So last week I'm having lunch with one of my good friends. I see him every 6 months or a year. And when I saw him last year, he was debating a breaking up with his girlfriend he's been with for like 8 or 9 years. And he gave me a whole bunch of reasons why he was considering it. And I basically said, look dude, you've already given me more than enough reasons to get out of this relationship. You need to get out. Fast forward to having lunch with him last week. Guess what? He's still in that relationship and he needs to get out of it, which is exactly what I told him. And if you guys are in a similar relationship, I'm gonna tell you exactly why you need to get out. So without further ado and in no particular order, here's a list of reasons that I think you guys should get out of your current relationship and go find yourself something better. I need to raise my hand too when I'm pointing so you can see me pointing at you. So I guess first and foremost too, why am I qualified to make any sort of video on this whatsoever? Well, I'm no health and wellness expert. I haven't had proper training on dating, but I can tell you what, I've been fortunate enough in my life to have 2 wonderful soulmates, incredible quality relationships that have taught me everything I need to know about what I absolutely want and deserve in a relationship. And a couple years ago, as you guys may know, if you've been following me for a while, I lost what I thought was the love of my life. Died unexpectedly, really sad, sappy story that I'm not gonna waste your time with. But in short, I was devastated and I went about, doing dating and trying to find the next love of my life. And going through all these different situations and dating, the whole gamut, I kept coming back to what it was that I needed to have in a relationship for it to be a high quality relationship and for it to be worth my time. And I kept coming back to, I would rather be single than to settle for a crap quality relationship that isn't gonna get me anywhere and isn't gonna give me what it is that I deserve in a relationship. And I wanna give you guys the same bit of advice that I would have given to myself, which is do not settle for less than you deserve. And there are some things that to me are an instant red flag that tell you should get the hell out of your current relationship. So let's start with number 1. Your basic needs aren't getting met. And I would add on top of that, there's no chance your basic needs are gonna get met. So talking to my friend last week, he wants to get married, he wants to have a bunch of kids. He's dating a woman who's older than him, who has 3 kids, has no interest in getting married and has 0 interest in having kids with him. And we've talked about this together. He's adamant that he wants to get married and he's adamant that he wants to get kids. And if he's okay settling down with this woman, never getting married and never having kids with her and just raising her kids, which I think for a lot of people could be a great solution, there's no problem there. But the reality is one of his life path goals is that he wants to get married and he wants to have kids of his own. And I've told him last year and I told him the same thing this year. This isn't the relationship for you. If this is something you really want, and it doesn't have to be that you want to get married and have kids, but if there are fundamental things about your life that are crucial to you, that are really important to you, and your current relationship is holding you back from them, and it's evident that your current relationship is never going to let you have them, you need to go find something else. And it doesn't have to be kids. It could be that you want to go chase some career path and your current relationship or significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, what have you, isn't going to let you do it, doesn't support it, or just can't support it. People can change, sure. Opinions change, absolutely. But if you've been putting effort at this for months or even years and you're still getting the same roadblocks, odds are the odds are the situation's not going to change. And if you're not willing to compromise on the things that you really want, or you don't know whether or not you're really willing to compromise on the things you want, you need to consider leaving this relationship because at the point that it's going, you're going to become more and more bitter as this relationship goes on because you're feeling like you have to give up part of what you want in life to keep this relationship going. And it's only going to turn the two of you guys against each other. Because if you let this keep rolling on, if you get to the point where every time you look at your significant other, you're angry at them because you feel like they're holding you back or denying you what it is that you want and deserve in life, that is not going to lead to a good quality relationship. That tells you, again, that this is probably not the relationship you should be in, and you need to second guess whether or not this is something you want to stay in. So the next thing, you don't love them. Love is one of those words that people throw around, and it means different things. And to be honest, I think society's overused it in so many ways that it's kind of lost a lot of its meaning. And love means different things to different people. But I think by and large, we have a rough understanding of what it means to be in love with someone. And there's a very big difference between loving someone and being in love with someone. Night and day difference. I love my family. I love my friends. There are, people that I treat like brothers and sisters. There are people that I genuinely, absolutely love and would do anything for them, and I want the best for them. But I'm not in love with them. I don't want to spend the rest of my life with them. I don't feel like we're partners. I don't feel like we're, soulmates. I care about them. I want them in my life, but I am not in love with them. I don't want to have a life journey with them. Very big difference. And I've seen time and time again where there's, two people in a relationship, no matter what kind of relationship that it is, that they love each other, they care about each other, but they're not in love with each other. And without being in love with each other, without that passion, without that partnership, without that complete dedication, you're missing out on some incredible quality relationships. To experience what it is like to be in love with someone through and through. And I'm not talking about that crap you guys experience that we call love in the beginning of a relationship where it's infatuation and you just want to take each other's clothes off and it's all that surface level stuff. I'm talking about after you've been with someone for months to years, you know their quirks and their faults, and despite all the ways that they get on your nerves, you still can't imagine going through life without them. And you feel like a better person for being with them, and there's nothing you wouldn't want to do to support them. And having them in your life is just such an incredible gift. I'm talking about that kind of love. And if your current relationship isn't giving you that kind of love, that's another sign that maybe this isn't the relationship for you. Because movies blow this stuff up, and love is a commodity these days, and there's all these dating websites and all this crap. But speaking from my personal experience, the love that people speak of really does exist. And I get the feeling a lot of people are settling for crap love. Basically, glamorized friendships. And I tell you what, being in a committed relationship for that level, I don't think it's worth it. And I think you should second guess the relationship. Some more serious reasons you guys should consider leaving a relationship. You can't be yourself. Being in a relationship can require sacrifices. It requires us to grow, to become better people, and sometimes that means that we put the relationship as a priority and we don't get to do everything that we want to do, and we sometimes have to make sacrifices to make it work. But there's a fine line between making sacrifices for the best good of the relationship and sacrificing who you are and giving up on who you are for the relationship. And I firmly believe, and I have absolutely experienced in my relationships, that you're with the right person when they love you for who you are and they embrace you for who you are and they want you to be who you are. So if you find yourself in a relationship right now with someone who's constantly putting you down or telling you to be something different than you are, who doesn't let you express yourself, who makes fun of you or criticizes you for being who you are, who doesn't support your hobbies, doesn't support your beliefs, belittles you, or tells you that for them to love you, their love is conditional. They only love you if you fit this format and this mold and behave in these ways. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're in that kind of a relationship, you better get the hell out of it. Best kind of relationships are the ones where you guys mutually support each other, you love each other for who you are, and you totally encourage each other to be who you are. The next point, I really shouldn't have any business saying this, but again, I hear about it all the time, and I don't understand why people think it's okay to settle for this crap. What's this? It's that you're in an abusive relationship. So I think a lot of people think of abuse as being physically abusive, and obviously that's absolutely not acceptable. And if you're being physically abused, you sure as hell should be finding a way out of this relationship, because odds are it's only gonna get worse, and it is completely and absolutely unacceptable. But there's another kind of abusive, and that kind of abusive is verbally abusive. You should never, 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 never settle for someone who verbally abuses you. Someone who puts you down, someone who belittles you, someone who talks to you like you're trash. If you're experiencing this, get out of the relationship. You can do better. I absolutely know you can do better. Quality relationships exist. And in those quality relationships, you may get angry with each other, you may get pissed with each other, but if you really love each other and you found yourself a respectable human being, you guys are always going to treat each other with respect. That should be the ideal of a relationship. You guys always treat each other with respect. Why do you treat each other with respect? Not only because it's, of course, the right thing to do, but because you love each other and you support each other and you want each other to be their best and you want each other to succeed. You would never intentionally try to hurt them or to discourage them or to put them down because you believe in the best for them. That was kind of a Trump moment. I don't know why I did that. I'm sorry. So don't ever, ever, ever settle for that kind of a relationship. There's absolutely no reason for it. And if it's a physically abusive relationship, you really need to get the hell out of it because it's not going anywhere positive. And verbally abusive too. That stuff can lead to all sorts of problems. We're not just talking about self-esteem issues. It can lead to anxiety and a whole sort of mental, emotional issues that could really screw up your life. And there's absolutely no reason for putting up with it. Last but not least, you can't be independent. I think we all have a rough sense of what it means for people to be needy. And there's a fine line between the need for emotional bond and sharing with each other and loving each other and supporting each other, and versus constantly needing each other's attention and being controlling of each other's attention to the point that nobody in the relationship is allowed to breathe or have time to themselves. It is important in a quality relationship that both people get to maintain their independence. They get to maintain their own sense of selves. They get to continue doing the things that they love. They continue to have some free time to themselves, and they're not constantly in the beck and call of their partner. They're not constantly having their phone blown up with text messages 24/7, getting phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning, and getting yelled at or having their partner cry because they took 2 hours for themselves to go do something that was important to them. You need to maintain your independence. A quality relationship is not a prison sentence. If you are basically at the beck and call of your partner and your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, is constantly in need of your attention and will not let you have any moment to breathe, this is an unhealthy relationship. And slowly but surely, you're going to lose your patience with them, and it's not going to do your relationship any favors. Now, if you're dealing with someone like this, your significant other is being what we would term very needy, I'm not saying dump them right now. I think you definitely need to talk to them about what are some respectful boundaries, because some people actually don't realize they're being needy, and some people have been watching too many bad romance movies and think that chasing their partner down and blowing their phone up and leaving them constant messages is some way to bring them closer together, when it really has the opposite effect. So I think you really need to discuss about, what kind of communication you guys need to have and see if you can set some healthy boundaries. But if you're in a situation where that's not working, and over time they're demanding more and more and more of your attention, and they're getting, especially if they're getting angry or upset about the fact that you take a moment to yourself or you took an extra 10 seconds to respond to their text message, they have some issues that they need to work on, and it's not healthy for you to hang out in this relationship. So those are kind of my red flags. Take my advice as you will. Again, I'm not an expert, but I have been fortunate in life to experience some wonderful quality relationships, and also to have done a lot of dating and learned a lot of things that are really bad for quality of relationships, and a lot of things that I would never settle for and you should never settle for. And I get it, it's tough. If you're in a current relationship and you're sticking it out even though these issues are present or even though you really know you shouldn't, and I am kind of a believer that advice is what we ask for when we already know the right thing to do. I get it, you're probably sticking into it because it's comfortable, because it's easy, because you understand where it's going, and there's probably a chance too that you're afraid of being alone. And I get that, for some people, and I'm not saying that I've had once in my life I wasn't beyond it, it can be kind of scary to be by yourself. It can be scary to be alone. The reality is though, I think it's even scarier if you settle for a low quality relationship, because what if there really is a wonderful relationship out there for you? What if there is a wonderful partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, whatever it is you're looking for, whatever it is you want? What if there is a wonderful soulmate potential quality relationship out there and you're settling for crap that has all these issues with it because you're too afraid to go out there and find something on your own? I would strongly challenge you to keep this in mind and to look out there. And again, evaluate your relationship. Maybe it's time to move on. You know, and if they're not being abusive to you, I definitely think I would definitely challenge you to talk about some of these issues with your partner and see if there's ways you can work around some of this or mature beyond it. But if you're kind of stuck, I think it's time you move on. I really, really do. So I hope you guys found this helpful. To those of you guys watching me on the J. Anthony channel, I'm sorry it's not a watch video, more to watch. I promise I have a lot of watch videos that are coming very soon. If you like this video, please go check out my other channel. To those of you guys watching my other channel, Coach J. Anthony, thank you guys for coming to this channel and continuing to support me. I really appreciate it. So let me know what you guys think down below. Again, this is just me speaking from my life experience. Feel free to share your life experience below too. I always learn so much from you guys. I really appreciate sharing stories with each other and learning from each other. So thanks guys so much. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please click the bell icon so you guys keep track of my current channel uploads that are coming out so you guys can stay on top of them. Again, watch channel people, I promise tons of Seiko and Rolex videos are coming very, very soon. And with all that said, guys, thank you guys so much. You guys are freaking awesome. I'll catch you guys real soon on my next video.